Ivy Tech offers a driver's education program now at Bosse, Central, Harrison, North, and Wrights High Schools. Classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 6 p.m., conducted in 5-week intervals. We also offer behind-the-wheel training at Ivy Tech Community College located at 3501 North 1st Avenue. For further information, call us at 429-9810. That's 429-9810, or check us out at ivytech.edu/driversed.
benefit the Bosse students as well as the community, but do you think they will use it?
Well, I think so. I think when you've got that kind of an amount of traffic that comes through this area, rather than waiting for the crosswalk and understanding that they can go up a ramp and across, which cuts their travel time as well as it's a safer situation, I think you'll see more students use it than not. I've met with current Mayor Jonathan Weinzappel. I've met with Senator Lugar. We've had numerous meetings about this project, but it seems like where we hit the snag is with the funding. So I would ask folks, especially in this area that have students that they're concerned about their safety, to contact their state legislators, to contact the governor's office, and to send letters to the local media to get active about it. And I think the more notoriety and the more interest that's shown, the more apt they are to fund the project.
Well, thank you, Mr. Duckworth, for allowing me to speak with you today.
Well, I've enjoyed it, and I appreciate Community Link looking into this and bringing it to the forefront for folks in the area.
And hopefully we can get the project rolling, since it's such a busy intersection and we don't want anyone to get hurt.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll be sitting down with Mayor Jonathan Weinzappel to discuss this issue further. How long have you known about the proposal to construct the pedestrian overpass at Highway 41 and Washington Avenue?
Actually, it's an issue that was brought up several years ago that we've been looking at and actually seeking money for. But that proposal, I think, actually goes back probably a couple decades. Over time, there have been a variety of proposals put forward to build some type of pedestrian overpass at that intersection, just because of all the pedestrian traffic and how busy Highway 41 is. So it's an idea that's been out there for a while, but just recently, in the past couple of years, there's been a concrete proposal to look at it once again.
Would you be in support for this project, and why or why not?
Well, we've been supportive. I think it's important with regard to the safety, especially for students of Bosse High School, and making it more convenient for them and safer for them in order to get from, I guess, be the west side of US 41 across that busy highway over to Bosse High School. So I think it's a very important project. We have been pretty active in pursuing grant funds to support it. Within the stimulus bill that was passed in early 2009, there was money that was set aside for infrastructure projects, and we have put a competitive bid and a proposal before U.S. Department of Transportation to hopefully seek some of the funds to be able to do this project. We expect to hear maybe in the next month whether our proposal was successful. It's a competitive process, so I think there are communities throughout the nation that are competing for a limited pot of money, but we're optimistic about the proposal we've put forward to not only just build that pedestrian bridge, but another one over the Lloyd Expressway to connect the Robert Stadium area with the state hospital grounds, and also we've sought money through this grant proposal to expand the Greenway.
Speaking of the Greenway, could the project be incorporated with the Greenway passage?
Well, I think it should, and that's how we have proposed the funding for this project, and why we think the federal government should be involved in helping put the finances together to make it possible. Right now, the city owns the property, which is an abandoned rail line. It's called the High Rail line that basically runs parallel with US 41, roughly from, actually, I guess from I-164, Veterans Memorial Parkway, all the way north. But we've talked about including a portion from Glenwood Middle School all the way to Walnut Avenue as part of the Greenway. And a pedestrian overpass across US 41 connecting the Greenway, roughly at Washington Avenue to Bosse High School, I think would really work well and basically provide another asset as part of the Greenway. And like I said, we'll know in the next month whether we're going to see any success with this grant application that we have made to use stimulus funds for this project. If we're successful with that, depending on how much money we are awarded, we'd be able to begin immediately. If we're not successful, then it's kind of back to the drawing board and trying to find funds to help make the project possible. You know, as we have looked at absent grant funding, it seems to me that this is a project which is going to require the state, EVSC, and the city's participation on a financial basis in order to make it a reality.
Thank you. Now to my next interview with NDOT's District Deputy Commissioner Troy Woodruff. Well, thank you, Mr. Woodruff, for speaking today about this project. We have been needing a pedestrian walkway overpass for quite some time at this intersection of Washington Avenue and US 41.
Well, I certainly appreciate you having me here today, Sagan, and I look forward to having a conversation with you.
Well, thank you. So, what is your role at the Indiana Department of Transportation?
Well, my role is I'm the District Deputy Commissioner for the Vincennes District, and that entails we would have 5 sub-districts here in southern Indiana. Tell City Subdistrict, Evansville Subdistrict, Paoli Subdistrict, Linton Subdistrict, and the Vincennes Subdistrict. So it's quite a bit of territory. So I have to oversee the budget we have, our operating money, and as you can see by a lot of the orange barrels and things of that nature, a lot of the construction projects that are down here, I have some responsibility to make sure those are done on time and on cost. Also, you know, we had a little bit of weather on the way over. Whenever we have snowy roads, things of that nature, that's also our job to keep the roads clean and keep them safe for you as the traveling public. So that's kind of a snapshot of what I do on a daily basis.
So Harrison High School has the overpass over the Lord Expressway, and North High School has one over Diamond Avenue. So why hasn't there been one built on the US 41?
Well, the reason there hasn't been one built is we have to adhere to a federal highway standard. So when we build a road, or if we make any improvements to the road, or if we do anything to that highway, we have to meet those standards and that criteria. Well, in this case, that standard and that criteria has yet to be met. And for us to circumvent the federal requirement would put our funding in jeopardy. So it wouldn't just be for this project, it would be for any number of projects that we have to use federal money to build roads here in the state of Indiana.
So specifically, what requirements are we lacking in order to get this project moving?
Well, we've actually studied this project once in 1997 and then again in 2005. The requirements that we would have to meet to be able to build this walkway overpass would be 300 people would have to walk across that area within a 4-hour segment of time. You would also need to have 10,000 vehicles go through there in the exact same 4-hour increment of time. So right now your numbers are low on both accounts. So that way it's just not a justified project at this time.
So you said that the last 2 studies were in 1997 and 2005.
Yes.
So when will the next study be going?
With any project, not just here on this project, but any other project, anytime the dynamics change, let's say that a new business opened up on the road, or the enrollment of the school dramatically went up, or any type of a change, whether it may be even another company up the road that has a bunch of trucks that start coming through the intersection. Anytime those types of things happen, that would justify the need to relook at the situation.
Well, we have a new CVS that just opened up on the corner of Washington and US 41. So you think that could be an exception?
Anytime something new happens, it always causes us to go back and reevaluate whether we think that impact. Because remember, anytime something new is built on a highway or close to a highway like CVS, we require a certain amount of traffic counts and things of that nature to be conducted on behalf of the business to let us know what impact they're going to have on our road. So we would take a look at that, and if it starts to get closer towards those numbers, then certainly we would come back in and do another evaluation.
For my final question, if someone was to be killed or extremely injured, would the project be considered moving forward, or would it go by quicker?
Well, certainly if that were to happen, that would be a tragedy. Every decision we make, we always want to think safety first, whether it's our people out working on a road, or the traveling public, or pedestrians walking across the street. So safety data factors into every decision we make. And I can safely say that because it is that important. One of the things that came from the last study we did of this issue back in 2005 was we were able to put up new signs that basically warned people that there was a school crossing ahead. It had flashing beacons to help slow the motoring public down. But certainly if there were a number of accidents or even one accident, we would go back and take a look at it and see if that once again required us to come in and do that study. The thing I can assure you on the project, in any project, but this one especially, is that we will always have it in the back of our mind, and we will always take a look at it, and we will always keep an eye on it, because if it does meet those requirements, we certainly want to keep you folks safe here at this school. We want to keep everybody safe over in that neighborhood, and we want to keep people that drive cars and trucks along our highways safe as well. So I certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about this issue, because I know that it's very important to you and your school, and it's important to us as well.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Woodruff, for
Thank you,
allowing me to speak with you today about this matter.
Well, thank you for having me.
And reporting for the EVSC Community Link, I am Sagan March.
Good job, Sagan. I know you worked really hard on it. Now, guys, there should be no more excuses. If we can get through this kind of crazy weather, we should have a good show all the time.
This has been a Bulldog production.